Welcome back to Fly Shop Tour.
He's right there, I see him. No, he ate it, he ate it. Nice work. Oh man, what a stud.
Little DIY tug right here.
Oh, there we go.
Nice. Pretty cool fish right there. Ah! We need to get down to the Keys. We had an Airbnb down there, but we had to stop at least one key lime pie spot. The Blonde Giraffe, Key Lime Pie Factory. We've heard it's supposed to be quite delicious. That looks pretty good. It's got this meringue top, and it's got kind of like these sugary crystals on the top of it with a few lime rinds, and it looks really good. It's a thin crust. You can tell that meringue on top's super light. Wow, super tart. Way more tart than most key lime pies I've ever tried. The meringue on top's honestly like perfect, and a very thin crust. I think this has got to be a 4.8. Jared approved. Definitely worth the stop. But cool spot. We actually got to go feed some tarpon off the dock.
Sick.
So I was like,
Sick.
Florida Keys, like, you got to do that.
Oh.
The next day, we're fishing with the legendary Brandon Sear. Brandon and his brother, Jared Sear, have been guiding in the Keys since they could breathe. So got on the skiff. Brandon's got a badass jit'em, and we headed to our first spot. We showed up to the spot.
I'll see him basically. I've had him up here before, but up at that little point there is kind of the first point I start seeing.
And we're throwing bait fish patterns.
Yep, and so basically we're just kind of getting, we're using black and purple. When that thing gets wet, it creates like a perfect little teardrop shape. These tarpon are feeding on pilchard. You hear that flipping? That's what that is.
That's a pilchard?
Yep, let's get after it.
I was struggling figuring out my casts because I'm not the best angler, and ended up finally hooking into a nice juvie tarpon.
Strip, got him. That's awesome, dude. That is so cool. That was a different fish too. Bro, definitely best cast of the day. Yeah.
They're a ton of fun. They jump, they eat super hard, and they're in that kind of 10 to 30 pound class range, so they're not gonna kick your ass like a big tarpon. He's like, just, is that Brandon Sear? Just grab me already. There you go. Super incredible. Feel very fortunate that the Sear brothers are showing us their backyard here, and we're able to play with some of these fish and to be able to tie in some conservation. And you know, Brandon's working on documenting the fin clip here and writing the size down, and it's super cool to have that full circle of trying to find the fish, catching the fish, and then trying to preserve the fish. So. Awesome morning so far here in Key West.
See that two tarpon right there at 1 o'clock?
Oh my God! We caught 2 juvie tarpon, shot some really cool footage around that, and then Brandon's like, all right, we're done messing with these fish. And I'm like, what do you mean we're done messing with these fish? Like, we could catch 10 more right now. Yeah. And he's a guy that respects the fishery so much. These are local fish, and he doesn't want to overfish them. We then went to go try to catch a bonefish, or a permit, but most likely a bonefish. Got a nice natural shrimp pattern here with some dungbell eyes. Brandon said it's already been eaten by several bonefish, so let's see if we can get one more. Flat after flat, cast after cast, we got turned down. I've never met a picky bonefish.
He was good.
10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, 50 times. At one point, Brandon was like, all right, Jared, get off of the bow of the boat. I'm gonna see if you're screwing all this up. I've been demoted. And he starts casting, and I'm like, Brandon, I don't know what I'm doing up here with the pole. Finally, on the 51st fish,
You got him, Jared?
How close?
40 feet.
he decided to eat.
Strip, turn around, strip, yes! Holy ladies and gentlemen! We didn't trout that? Epicness. Oh, you know what? I hate to say it, but that's one of the things that makes so much fun about saltwater fishing is that it's so damn hard. Even on a species it's supposed to be way easier, it makes it that much sweeter. Oh my God. Oh, we had to work for that guy.
This is what we were looking for. Awesome bonefish. I love bonefish in the Keys. Caught that, and Brandon's like, all right, let's go see if we can get the slam. So he pushes up onto one of his secret permit flats, tail in the air, send a cast in. Honestly, not a bad first cast. The fish kind of turns to look for it. Second cast, pretty cast. Didn't see the permit.
At least you're honest.
Didn't see the permit again. I mean, we had a good shot at a permit, so everybody was stoked. Got some juvie tarpon, caught the bonefish,
Potential
wrapped up
slam.
for the day. I'm tired. I think we need to eat some key lime pie.
Yeah, this guy's down.
So yeah, we wrap up the day. Had to squeeze in a key lime pie review, so we stopped at the Square Grouper, which is a legendary spot. There's 2 spots in the Keys now. Definitely go. It's amazing food. We're at the Square Grouper down here in the Florida Keys. We've got our beautiful looking key lime pie here. You can tell they went with a whipped cream on top. This is kind of the perfect shape of a key lime pie slice right here. They've got some raspberry drizzle, some sugar powder on the sides. Let's dig in and see what we got. Really delicious filling. The base of the pie is a little bit soggy. I'm sorry, Square Grouper. That needs to be a little bit crunchier. I'm apologizing for not only my horrible adjectives describing the key lime pie, but the score system. This is gonna be a 4.49. Delicious, worth trying, but not on quite the level of a few of the other ones that we've had. We had their key lime pie. Not amazing. I think I gave it in
Sorry, Square Grouper.
You gave it like a 4.6.
I gave it a 4 point something.
Horrible 4.5 out of 5.
Anyway, the next day we headed down to Key West, where we met with Nathaniel Linville at the Angling Company. We are at the Angling Company, the southernmost fly shop in the continental US, here in Key West, Florida. Let's go inside and say what's up.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got your Flylords shirt on and everything.
I do. I actually brought you one.
Aw.
I thought this was maybe your style.
Fly shop tour. Oh, that's appropriate because you're on the fly shop tour.
Exactly. Well, we're pumped to be here. I know this is a unique shop. Every time I come down here, just
Right.
poking my head in. It's the southernmost fly shop in the U.S.
Yeah, I was informed actually that that's one of our really attributes.
Why don't you tell us when this shop started and why?
Opened in April of 2009. You know, I wanted to open a fly shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish there was like a cooler answer to that, but
That's a good answer.
to me, it's pretty obvious why someone would want to open a fly shop.
Nathaniel is a legendary figure in the Florida Keys. Not only does he run one of the coolest shops down there, he is one of the best anglers in the world. I know that's a big statement.
Yeah.
More specifically, he's one of the best permit fishermen in the world. Talk to me about the tournaments and how that evolved with the shop.
I think they're important. Same thing with records and all that. I think they're part of the history of the sport. And I think we all, whether we want to admit it or not, the people that are pushing the sport forward, we're all reaping the benefits from it. And those new things that get developed are now standard issue. You know, if you go permit fishing or tarpon fishing down here, someone's like, oh, here, get a foam worm fly. You know, it's like a very standard thing. But like people forget that that came from somewhere. The genesis of those things was a specific team or people. Usually it's a guide and an angler. And I just think that stuff is interesting intellectually, and like it's something that I think is like important to the sport.
Do you want to show us maybe some flies?
Sure.
We've been to 13 fly shops. Some have like local tires.
So I'm gonna brag just a little bit.
Okay.
But when I opened the shop, it was 2009, 95% of the shops and all the flies that were made were all commercially tied stuff.
Yeah.
And we developed a relationship. I had a pre-existing relationship with Dave Scope.
Tell us who that is for the viewers maybe who've never heard it.
He's the best saltwater fly tyer on the planet. You know, I would love someone to argue with me about that. And if there's a fly tyer who watches this and is like, hey man, what about me? I'm gonna say, call me up, tell me why you think you're right, and I will explain to you why you're not. I try not to speak in absolutes. I've learned my lesson about that a number of times.
But this one you're
Dave
pretty
Scope
confident.
is the best saltware fly tyer on the planet, period.
But this guy's dialed, and I was like intimidated to just go talk to him. But he wants to teach you. He wants to educate you. He's like, I'm gonna give you a casting lesson. Let's go walk to the park down the street. I'm gonna give you a casting lesson. And my cast got way better.
See how that kind of tightened it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Try it a couple more times, get a feel for that. It's a slight thing, but if you make a peace sign with your hand, if I'm lining you up with that V, if I bring this hand back, if I don't rotate my wrist, all of a sudden, I get here and that V starts pointing behind me. In order to keep lined up with you, I have to open my arm this way, otherwise I'm gonna start hooking around. But you can look through that V and be looking through it the whole time if I open up my hand a little bit. A lot of people think that you have to keep your wrist locked. It's not really the case. You don't need to. On your back cast or your forward cast. That comes from people casting real wristy. You still want to pull the line back, but in the last movement is that rotation where you are actually using your wrist. But if you do it this way, it's going to tell the line to go off behind you.
I mean, from the moment we walked into that shop, I realized this guy has so much knowledge about this sport and wants to share his knowledge and passion for this sport to the entire community out there. That's what fly shops are all about, and that's what this series is all about. So it's pretty cool to highlight it right here. We wrapped up the day there, and we went to a key lime pie spot that everybody was like, you need to go to Blue Haven. Drum roll, please. We show up, and the meringue on this pie almost hit the ceiling. I'm not really sure how I'm even gonna go after this thing. Put it into my mouth, and I like inhale for a second. And I just spit it out everywhere. And it was the worst key lime pie review anyone in history has ever done.
Yep, on my pants. Presentation-wise, this is definitely the coolest looking key lime pie we've had. I'm gonna give it a 4.76.
The next day is our event. Our event came the morning I got some sort of alert like on my phone, and it's like tropical storm, tornado winds, and it's like a Wednesday event in the Florida Keys. I'm like, this is horrible. We show up to the shop, and there's 2 feet of water in front of the shop that we're trying to throw this event at.
So you dunk the Chittum.
So we dunk the Chittum, and we start peacock bass fishing.
The nice thing about the 7 Mile Fly Shop is that they've got water accessibility right in front of the shop. So we're gonna see if we can get a little bone here.
We shot some funny B-roll in front of the shop in the flood. Went in, and we were kind of like, we're setting this up, and whoever shows up. It might be one person, it might be no people, but we're gonna just go with the flow. And the characters that came in that night were absolutely hilarious. They were wearing like crazy rain gear, and they all wanted to come in and have a good time. And we probably had like 25 people, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And we raised a ton of money for Captains for Clean Waters. That was an amazing night. We got to spend time with the 7 Mile Fly Shop crew. Anyone who was willing to drive in those conditions to come out for the event, we were like, this is amazing. So it was intimate, and it was beautiful. We just wrapped up at 7 Mile Fly Shop. Horrible weather day, definitely the worst weather day of the whole trip, but the Florida Keys community showed up. They showed out. We raised over $1,000 for Captains for Clean Waters. Next stop, we're headed north We'll see you in Sanibel, Florida. And we headed north the next day to Bonita Springs, Florida, in the Naples area to go visit our buddy Nick Davis at 239 Flies. We've made it to Naples, Florida, our last stop of the fly shop tour. We're here at 239 Flies. If you've made it this far with us, thank you so much. Let's go check out our last shop. Whoa!
There he is.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Nick?
Yeah, Jared?
Good to see you, dude.
Nice to meet you. My brother Jim?
What's up, Jim?
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to 239 Flies.
Dude, last stop of the trip right here.
Yes, well, you know, I don't want to say you saved the best for last, but maybe in Bonita Beach. Welcome.
Gorgeous shop.
Thank you. We're very proud of it. Cool, let me show you around.
All right, let's do it.
We got a 12-person fly tying table, which the shop was kind of built around.
Yeah.
I did Instagram live feeds, you know, as we
we
know.
know.
I took over the Flylords fly tying way back when.
yeah.
Instagram Live has been a really good tool for us over the years, and I received a lot of flack for having a 12-person table in an 800 square foot shop.
Yeah.
Because it ate up so much space, and it was like, no. Fly tying and the fly tying community is vital to what we do here at 239 Flies.
Nick, talk to me about how you went from being a full-time firefighter who tied flies on the side to taking this risk on starting a business and putting a ton of money into what it takes to have a fly shop.
It definitely kept me up at night for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was good about the actual, you know, actual fly fishing. And then when that grew to the point of where I couldn't keep up with 10,000 SKUs and I didn't know how to keep a shop fully stocked, then Jim just said, leave that to me. I've been doing this for 30 years. And it's like, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it kind of let me do what I'm good at, which is
Talking to you on social media.
talking to you on social media, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm good at, Jared, but
You're good at putting out fires.
I you know, there is a whole department of people who would argue that, but I have put out a couple.
I love that. One question we've been asking fly shops on the road, owners really, is what does owning a fly shop mean to you?
Oh my gosh. It's a huge sense of purpose. You know, fly fishing was always my escape from golf and escape from life and escape from stress. And it was sharing that with, you know, my friends that were around me, my family that was around me. You know, like we always got together on, you know, Easter and Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, brotherly tradition in our family that we would go fishing Easter and Thanksgiving morning.
Love that. We're fishing tomorrow with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here, but do you think you could whip up a fly that we might be able to use tomorrow?
I could probably do that, yeah.
What are we tying up here? So talk us through this pattern.
This is one of my favorites. This is the EPZE brush, and it is made to be a one brush fly, and you just wind it on.
Yeah, this looks pretty unique what you're doing right now.
All right, that should do it.
That thing is badass.
Well, it gotta work, right?
I don't know. Let's see how bad my casting is tomorrow. I feel like as a fly shop owner, you're always investing back into the inventory, into the team, into the community.
If you don't love it, you're doing something wrong. So I can say that I love every little piece of everything that we've got around here that says 239 Flies on it.
That's cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you on the water.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. We went the next morning to go fish with Nick. The last morning. Let's see if we can finish on a high note here. In 1868, they were importing bananas across the ocean.
Yes.
And they brought a ton of spiders with them, and the spiders ended up biting the people on the ship and they all died. So that's why they're bad luck. That's why we brought it today.
Anywhere south of Estero Bay,
Yeah.
you won't see a tailor.
Really?
No, hardly at all.
So we're not gonna see a tailor today?
We will not probably, there is a 99.9% chance we will not see a redfish waving at us.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's this, you're telling me there's a chance. One might get confused and like poke its tail out of the water.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
So what do you look for?
So when they're moving down the shoreline, you'll see them waking. As soon as these clouds burn off a little bit more,
You wanna see some bodies.
you'll see some bodies, yeah. Or it's tough because we got a lot of mullet too. And
You're trying to judge what's mullet pushes.
yeah, yeah. It's not an easy place to fish,
Yeah.
but that's why it's really so good, because you know, a lot of the spots that we're going to catch redfish or see redfish in, you got to have a boat like this to get to it. Throw it in that mud back in there. Oh, that right there. There's a red right there. Right on the point. You see him? Drop it right there. A little further. Hold on, let's just let him sit, let him sit. Oh, he scooted right up on us. That was not the shot we were looking for.
So we had some shots in the morning.
If we get one more refusal, I'm throwing the banana in the trees. You can get a video of that.
We got to pull the sticker off it because then it won't be
Yes.
littering.
Yes.
We finished pulling a huge flat. Everybody's tired, exhausted, and I sent out this long cast and I'm reeling in. And I ended up, reeling in my line.
Get him tight.
Let's go.
Get him tight.
The monster we've been looking for. Where's the net at, Nick?
I got him.
Hey!
There he is. There he is. Look at that toad.
On the reel in.
And I ended up catching a snook,
Sick.
but it was like this big.
That's sick.
But I was like, we hadn't caught a snook yet, so we were like pretty pumped.
Check that off.
The skunk's off. Skunk's off the boat.
I can eat the banana in it.
You can eat the banana. He's even poking his fins out for you and everything.
How pretty that is. Let's get her back in the water.
Let's go. All right, now the skunk's off the boat. Have your banana. Have your banana.
I'm gonna eat my banana. Ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe an hour left of fishing. Fish to a pot of fish, turn down, turn down, turn down. I'm probably 5 minutes away from calling it a day. It's done. Like, we need to leave. And out of the corner in Nick's eye, probably 150 feet away, he sees this big wake coming right at our boat.
There's a wake coming over here. That's a big jack, I think. Coming at you.
And this huge wake is just coming towards our boat on this flat. I sent out an early cast to kind of like be out there and be ready before it sees the boat or anything. Nothing. It swims to the left of the bow of the boat, and I can tell it's a nice redfish.
Sure. He's on it. Slow down. There he is.
Let's go! Oh my god, dude, that
There he
eat.
is. There it is.
Bro.
There he is.
That was such an epic eat, Nick.
Great job not pulling it away from its face.
Oh my god, dude.
Great job not pulling it away from its
Holy
face.
Let's go!
There
Holy
he is.
shnikes. Dude.
There he is.
Dude, we
That
worked
made it worth it, didn't
we
it?
worked our asses off for that fish.
That made it worth it.
It was like a surreal moment, a stunning, probably high 20s redfish.
Not bad right there.
Nick, dude, thank you so much for working for this fish.
Absolutely. We put the work in. We finally got him.
Ah, stunning. Let's give him a drink.
Release the fish, put on the turtle box, cracked a couple all hands, and me and Nick definitely had a big smile all the way back to the boat. And then that afternoon, we got to go meet up with the legendary Chris Wittman. He has become a dear friend of mine over the last few years, and somebody that every year I look up to him more.
What up, dude?
What's happening?
What did you bring? Is that your tackle box?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that, because we don't have We're like the worst anglers ever.
This afternoon with him had nothing to do with catching fish, especially because I caught that big one earlier that day. But it had more to do with spending time with somebody that I really looked up to.
Well, yeah,
ready?
dude, I think we should roll out.
Let's do
get
it.
up there.
And and he was pulling me around. This is somebody who has guided his whole life and has been around these waters his whole life, and now he's leading the charge for protecting these areas.
Sugar industry suing the Army Corps. It's a pretty big one.
When did that start?
Started beginning of the year. They filed a suit at district court level. We filed an amicus brief on behalf of the Army Corps. Judge sided with the Corps, referenced our brief. They just filed an appeal at the appellate level.
It was a great way to end our trip in Florida, to be with somebody who's spending his time and energy and resources on protecting all these places we got to experience throughout the past 2 weeks. So it was a really beautiful ending to a wonderful section of Florida that I thought went great besides my key lime pie rating scale. A little bit surreal just that this whole thing's wrapping up right now. And an amazing day to finish it with an amazing human. And now we got to pack everything up tonight. But we'll see you guys next season. Fly Shop Tour Season 3 coming to a theater soon. We set out to do something that has a lot of moving parts and couldn't be done without the support of this whole industry. Everyone from our sponsors to the guides and the shops, the people that came out to the events. Thank you all so much for helping bring this thing to life.
And we could not have done this without all the brands that supported this tour. To Yeti, Costa, Sims, Turtlebox Audio for keeping the tunes rolling, to All Hands Cocktails, to Airflow Lines, to Sage Rods and Buff, B&W Trailer Hitches for helping us tow both our Adipose drift boat and our Chittum skiff. We really could not have done it with all the sponsors.
You know, we have this rare opportunity to step in and dip our toes in and out of this thing that's very sacred to a lot of people. And, you know, I just want to say, like, thank you to all the people who shared their backyards with us, who shared their homes with us, who shared their time. So thank you, everyone who opened their arms and opened their doors to us. It was an incredible experience.
This project is something that is so special and unique, just as special and unique as the fly shops themselves that you find all across the country. It's not just a shop. It's not just a place where you can buy something. It's really incredible to see all of these shops from the Rockies to the Southeast, from Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida, all really revolving around the same goal, and it's to build community. And you don't get that in a big box store. Let us know where we should tour next. Until then, thank you for watching Fly Shop Tour.
This is the secret bonus footage. If you're seeing this,
Sam.
if you're seeing this, send us $10,000 in Walmart gift cards.